Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here with your weekly live reaction replay video. This week featuring the dockyard ship for this cycle, the Tier 10 American destroyer, the Laffey. And the Laffey is a ship that has, great history behind it. The ship that wouldn't die survived the largest kamikaze attack in naval history. And we even went visit the real-life Laffey last year. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll link it somewhere right around here. So, great historical ship, museum ship, dockyard ship. What else do you want from a, I guess a premium quote-unquote ship? I know it's a, special ship or whatever you want to call it. But yeah. So the Laffey, besides being all that, it is a really good ship in game. And I believe Katie Brooks here, who's driving the Laffey today, will definitely be showing us that. So this is a live reaction replay, meaning that I am seeing this replay for the very first time. Actually, I saw these opening 10 seconds, 3 times in a row because NVIDIA broadcast updated and somehow forgot that my studio mic exists, so that was fun fixing that. But anyway, so I haven't seen the rest of the video, so I don't know what happens in this match, so you guys get my genuine live reaction to whatever it is that happens in the match. Pretty entertaining way of doing a replay in my opinion, and seems to be in you guys' opinion as well. So, the Laffey, what is it? The Laffey is an Alan M. Sumner class destroyer that's basically a slightly different gearing, but for most part it's a gearing. But the Laffey is geared to be more of a close-in cap contesting knife fighter. You've got the American 5-inch gun with a good reload time, and the Laffey has her improved heal. By improved, I mean super heal, to go in there and, fist fight other destroyers, along with the burst fire mode, where you can get 3 quick salvos back to back. Excellent for delivering the knockout blow to enemy destroyers. And she has the new American smoke generator, meaning that, as you can see down below, Laffey can use all 1 minute and 20 seconds of her smoke at once if she wants to. Although it is not as good as, runtime at least, as the American traditional smoke screen, but it does definitely have its uses. Looks like Katie has come across the Elbing, the Tier 10 German. I'm definitely not a light cruiser. Ooh, there's some torps there. Those are the Elbing torps? I think those are the Elbing torps, judging by how slow they're moving. Yeah, pretty much standing still. Looks like the Elbing has unfortunately blundered into the island, popping their smoke. They did fire, however, so Katie should have them spotted here. Ah, Hydro. Alright, but 2 sets of torps out on the Elbing. The Elbing does definitely see those torps coming. At least this will keep him from turning broadside out, to Katie and getting all of his guns on the target. Oh, there's the Forrest Sherman. They've popped up from somewhere. Along with the Conqueror out there. Some AP from the Elbing. It's like Katie's currently trying to go dark. Let's see. That midsection of torpedoes looks like he might get a hit or two on the Elbing. One. Ooh, almost gets him with 1 torp. He has some flooding. Looks like that is going to stick. There we go. First blood. Does get a shell hit into the stern of the Elbing right there. So yeah, Elbing, definitely not a destroyer I would dive into the middle of the map with early on. Elbing is very much a second-line destroyer, and that's where they should very much be. Not trying to go into the middle of the map and fight. Definitely nothing like the Laffey here. Alright, burst out on the Castilla there. Castilla also gets a bit of a burst out on Katie there. Looks like he does only clip her with the in the upper area of her superstructure, so nothing too bad. Oh, the Castilla. I was talking about how you don't see that ship too much in yesterday's video, and here we go. Alright, the U-4501 unfortunately takes out the friendly U-2501. It is 2,000 U's better than the 2501, so figures. But that is the first loss for Katie's team so far. So Katie's going to go over here and grab the healing buff, which is a very important buff when you are in arms race mode. For those of you that don't know, arms race works by collecting the buffs, giving, obviously advantages to your team. And you have a few minutes at the start of the match to collect these buffs before the key area spawns in. And then you have to capture that key area because of the insane amount of points that you do get from it. Alright, so there's an Irresistible over here. That thing's pretty spooky. Ran into one on last Friday's live stream, and it was quite spooky, especially playing GK. Alright, looks like she got the first healing buff. She might be able to clutch the second healing buff over here as well. We do know where that Sherman is, so pretty much this whole middle section of the map is open. So that's a massive mistake on the enemy team's part. Looks like there's not too many reds over here as well. Granted, Katie is the eyes for the team right now. While this is a double submarine game, there are no CVs in this match. I don't think there's any hybrid ships either. Nope, looks like there is not. Alright, hello, Mr. Irresistible. Alright, so 2 healing buffs secured for the friendly side. That's a great pickup. So we do know the 4501 is over here. Do they have 2 4501s? No. Okay, they both had a 4501 and a 2501. Some actual balanced matchmaking for once. And it's like Katie's eyeing up the Irresistible, trying to figure out what they're up to. Now, the Laffey does only have 8-kilometer torps. Again, the whole ship's kind of geared for a close-range knife fighter, right? So, unfortunately, you don't have a long torpedo range. But, I mean, like, Irresistible 6 kilometers away. So, that's well within 8 kilometers. Got a Yami over here, too, and a small lens. That is definitely not a ship you want to run into with a destroyer. Okay, what's going to happen here? Oh, looks like the Irresistible is coming around the corner of the island. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we might be getting a little bit of a YOLO run here. Especially if... Okay, yep. Okay, going to let the Irresistible come to her. That's a smart move. I thought she was going to rip it and roaring around the side of the island. That was not going to be a smart move with the small Linsk right there. Conqueror takes out the Libertad. Surprisingly so, only 2 ships are down per side at this moment. Normally by now, you have a lot more ships already sunk. But looks like it's a pretty even match so far, with, I would say, Katie's team having the advantage thanks to those 2 healing buffs. There's a 4501. He's going under, though. Irresistible did turn out, so unfortunately, not too many of those torps will find their target, probably, unless he turns back in. Let's see, is Kate just going to open up? Alright, pops her smoke. Here we go, opening up on the Yami. So this should be a nice little barbecue here for Katie. Once we start hitting some superstructure shots. There we go, we'll be getting some good pin damage too. Goliath takes out the Yami, and the Irresistible takes out the Regalo. There we go. That's more normal for matches nowadays, right? Alright, 1 fire on the Yami. And as you can see here, this consumable is pretty neat in that, yes, you can, use all of your smoke at once. But, when you have a shorter runtime like the Laffeys, it's not really great for... Like, yeah, sure, she can sit in here and farm for a bit. But, the traditional American smoke screen is better for this. I find that it's... The only real use is, for disengaging from unfavorable positions. Basically using it like the daring smoke, but basically having, way more runtime than what you get with the daring. Alright, swaps the burst fire mode, goes back there for a second. Oh, lets the burst fire mode rip. And now she is spotted. She turned off her smoke. Let's see, that might get another fire out on the Yami. Nope, unfortunately not. Small Links, though, very low. That's definitely something you want to get out as a destroyer player. So, they are definitely doing okay out here in the west, but the problem is they aren't doing okay out in the east. Oof. Okay, cool. Montana does get the small Links down, though. Yeah, the red team's basically taking the eastern side of the map, and the problem is, if they get that A-cap gives you like 10 points is it every second or every 2 seconds? Yeah, every 2 seconds. So it's a ridiculous amount of points coming into your score. So the red team's already up on points, and now they're taking the A-cap, and all the green team's over here. So even if the green team does work their way back over to the center point, looks like that center point is going to be captured by the time they get there. Although the Castilla did, who I believe is the only one on the red team capping the center point right now, did just get spotted, like right next to the Montana. That's probably not going to be great for him. So Katie's out here looking for that Yami or that Irresistible again. So you do have the GK and the Zhao heading back toward the Cap along with the Marseille. Oh, 4501 takes out one of the Montanas. So that's unfortunate. We're down to 6 ships left on the enemy side. I'm sorry, on the friendly side. Meanwhile, the red team still has 9 ships up. Yami, though, is pretty low. It's like Katie's trying to get another couple of fires set on him. The smallest is stunk over here, so she pretty much has, I don't want to say total free reign, but, a lot of wiggle room over here for sure. The Yami is also right on the edge of the Laffey, as Katie is a full DPM build, which I would definitely recommend on the Laffey. See, she's got Fearless Brawler going there, too. Okay, Montana does take out the Castilla, but it does look like there is something else in the A-cap. Probably the Sherman. Maybe even one of these submarines. Alright, fire on the Yami yet again. She slows down, backs up. She wants to grab this heal here, which will give the friendly team 3 heals, which, I mean, they're down 6 ships, but I mean, you know, the remaining 6 ships are definitely going to appreciate having a full heal buff going off. Okay, Irresistible is... Ooh, just got hit pretty good there. Now, you could be saying, well, she really needs to get back to the A cap and take that cap. Yes, that's true, but you also don't want to really leave these ships hanging out on your sides. Like having a Yami on your side and, you know, obviously being surrounded by the team from the east isn't really ideal. So it's a tough call, definitely. Because look, there you go. The Yami just took out the Zhao. So that's mega unfortunate. Down to 5 ships on the enemy team at this moment. So this does look like she is, you know, making the call to go back towards the center point now, because the Irresistible and the Yami, they're so far out of the game now that it's going to take them a minute to get back. And well, obviously, again, with the amount of points you get from taking the A cap, you definitely don't want to just give it up. Granted, you know, they did a pretty good job of smiting the Castilla that was trying to take it, but you do have a Conqueror in there now, along with the Sherman's not in there, so I guess it's one of the other subs that's just chilling in the middle of the cap. Hello, Mr. Conqueror. How are you doing? Conqueror is mega scary if you're in a destroyer because of that British battleship HE. It can and it will absolutely dev strike destroyers off the face of the map with that HE alpha damage. Although they do have to know that you're there. And Katie is walking up to this Conqueror. She's got a 6 kilometer detect on her Laffey. And let's see, she's going to smoke up and just kind of let him walk toward her, or what's her plan here? Or with the... Okay, so yep, she's just approaching the Conqueror. Oh, Conqueror has tunnel vision. He didn't notice until a secondary's fired that there's a Laffey walking toward him. I say walking because Laffey only goes 38 knots. Okay, but here we go. Bow onto the Conqueror. She does have the super heal. I suspect she's definitely going to need it here after... Alright, she pops it prematurely, but I'm assuming that's in anticipation of the HE that's about to... Yep, there we go. Ow. There's half of her HP. Alright, that's good. You let it rip. Let it rip. Let's... Oh, man. It goes down to 400 HP. The glory is stolen from her. Oh, man. I mean, I'm sure she's glad that... I think the Montana just deleted most of that Conqueror's HP. That I think the Marseille swooped in there at the last second. But alright. Good job, friendly team. They actually supported the destroyer for once. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. What a rare sight. Alright. Goliath down to 7k HP. She opens up on him because I guess, you know, staring death in the face once wasn't good enough for her, so she's got to open up on the Goliath, who also has British HE, which is very good and very good at smiting destroyers. So yeah, Goliath does have a superhero though, but I guess since she's down to 7k HP, he is out of heals. And there we go. 4501 takes the Goliath away from her. All right, so we are now down to a 4v6 situation. Well, Sherman just got slapped by something pretty good too. It looks like he is now giving the Marseille all of his attention. There's another battleship approaching the A circle. As you can see, the Irresistible and the Yami have turned around too, so they are going to be a problem shortly. Okay, cool. The Marseille does take out the 2501, so the 4501 is still around somewhere. Irresistible has not been seen in a minute too, so that's a little concerning. Okay, cool. 4501 takes out the Sherman. So we are now down to a 4v4 situation here. This game has had a very healthy back and forth between these two teams. Here comes another Tier 10 battleship. Perhaps Katie will finally be allowed to walk up to one of these battleships. She tried walking up to the Irresistible earlier, and the Irresistible turned out. She did walk up to the Conqueror, but then the Conqueror was rudely yoinked away from her. But now she has a Montana, who I think still isn't looking at her. What is this Montana doing? The turrets are not turning towards Katie. Katie's turning away, though, popping her smoke. She didn't fire her gun, so she will go undetected. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ooh. Ooh, that was close, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But I think this time she's got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Dev strike on a Montana. So now that the Yami and the Irresistible are so far out of the action, this should be a pretty easy cap for her and should get her a ton of points, ton of base XP from this as well. Although, again, no, so we do know where the Irresistible is at now. The question is, where's the Yami, the 4501? 4501's got to be somewhere nearby. I don't know what he's doing otherwise. Oh no, there's his Torp. So he is going after the GK, as is the Irresistible. So the Yammy's on top of that too. This is not over yet, boys and girls, because, I mean, Irresistible is a pretty crazy boat if you haven't ran into one. As you can see, this triple teaming of the GK is working pretty well. Like how she saved 0.9 seconds of her smoke. It's like literally one little of smoke is all she's got left. Alright, so that GK is probably going to go down here to that Irresistible. She's keeping her torso up. I guess she wishes to walk toward yet another battleship. Alright, 40 seconds left to capture the A zone. So now that the GK is down, that leaves her, the 4501, the friendly 4501, and the Marseille. Marseille's pretty good, but, I mean, it can very much be pummeled to death by 18-inch shells from the Yammy and, of course, the Irresistible's main battery guns. She's going to go grab a reload buff, looks like, over here. There's the Irresistible. He's turning into the A-cap as well. She should have it here, unless the 4501 just pops up right next to her and spots her. Well, what do you know? We love submarines, boys and girls. 3 seconds left to cap, though. I think she might have it secured here. Yep, there we go. Cool. They have the cap. As you guys can see, look at that points game. 10 points every 2 seconds. They did only have like 507 points because of the way the match was going, so they still have a little bit of time to hold this cap before it's an assured win. Again, with Irresistible and Yammy rapidly approaching, anything is very much possible. And there's the 4501. Don't we love to see it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So she did get pinged there. Only one ping, though. Pops her 0.9 seconds of smoke to break contact with the Irresistible. It mitigates the homing with her damage con. Oof. There come those Irresistible shells. Here comes the torpedoes. Thankfully, she should be dark now, so she can pretty much just... yeah. Oh, she's good. She's good. She's good. Man, the good submarine players really know how to spread those torps out and just make it a pain for anyone trying to dodge them. She does still have one super heal left of her super heal, so she decides to go ahead and open up with Irresistible. Irresistible is really low, though. 12k HP. Here comes the HE, though, from the main battery guns. Okay. Gets hit once. Yammy shells coming in there. I'm honestly more afraid of the U4501 than anything right now. And this island right here, which hopefully she avoids. There's that ping. Katie, there's an island. Katie, there's an island. There we go. Okay, she's making the turn. ASW being dropped on the friendly 4501. Up, and there you go. Now the submarine is on the surface in the cap, contesting the cap. This is still anybody's game, ladies and gentlemen, especially depending upon how good those guesstimations were from the ASW aircraft. All right, gets a good couple of hits in on the Yammy. There's high caliber. Got a Yammy there, 9 kilometers in closing. Definitely low enough to where her torpedoes can take him out. Let's see if is she going to get yet another YOLO there. Oh, Marseille burns down the Irresistible. Looks like she's going to play this one a little closer. Just play the island right here. Yep, got it set to full astern. There's a secondary build. Yammy, excuse me? What? Or did she just have... I think she just has a secondary flag on. That'd definitely be something for sure. Swapping over to AP, getting some nice chunks out of the upper belt and the superstructure of the Yammy there. 2 and 3K salvo. Very nicely done. So there we go. That is a dead Yammy, and there is the 4501. So now it's time to get some revenge on Mr. Pings-a-lot over here. If she can catch up to him. The 4501, if he goes in a straight line, does go like... Oh, never mind. They won. Dang, that's a good game. Yep. So the 4501 lives to fight another day. So rare you see submarines live that long in the match. So look at that. I can promise you that's an E. So she got Dev Strike, Dreadnought, and a Destroyer. First Blood, and High Caliber. It's probably not too far away from getting Confederate either. 10 torpedo hits, 344 main battery gun hits, 2 ships sunk. That was not a overly high kill game, although that she definitely would have got that Montana kill, but a good game nonetheless. Good destroyer gameplay there. How much spotting damage does she have? Well, let's see. Yeah, 2,500 base XP. The Marseille that saved her from the Montana did manage to beat her out there. Let's see, spotting damage. Oh yeah, 121,000. Wait, sure she got a combat scout from that? Or is it 150,000? I think it's 150,000. So pretty close to combat scout 2 there. Okay, cool. Cool. Very good game, though. Good showcase of the Laffey. We didn't get a whole lot of DD fighting, but you did get a lot of close-in combat and stuff. And the Laffey's a great ship. Definitely worth spending some of your free doubloons to finish the dockyard for Laffey for sure. Because it's only, 7,000 doubloons. So if you've got that in your tokens, I would definitely cash them in and, finish your Laffey grind. I know, we've got 5 days left of the event for the Laffey, but if you're thinking about doing you've been playing a bit and you just need a couple of phases left, I think it's worth dropping some money to get the Laffey. I'm not saying buy half of the dockyard or anything like that, but if you're just a handful of phases away from getting it, I think it's worth spending some money on it. Great ship. All right, so thank you to Katie Brooks for sending that into the channel. If you have an excellent replay like this, feel free to send it into the link down below, or you can submit it in the community Discord, and there's a link to the community Discord down there as well. Hope you guys enjoy. Have a wonderful Thursday, wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.